Most people over 60 are told the same thing about getting older. Slow down, take it easy, and just be careful on your feet. It sounds sensible. It sounds safe. But here is what almost nobody tells you. Slowing down on purpose does not protect your independence. It quietly hands it away. Now here is something that stops most people cold. The speed you walk across your own kitchen may say more about your health and about your next 10 years than the number on your last birthday cake. Geriatric researchers now call walking speed the sixth vital sign, and they measure it the way a nurse measures your blood pressure. In a landmark analysis published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, data from more than 30,000 older adults showed that how fast a person walked predicted how long they would live. So today, I am going to walk you through the 5 hidden reasons your pace starts to slip after 60 and exactly how to rebuild each one at home. And I am going to give you the one insight that a rushed appointment almost never has time to explain. The number one reason on this list is something almost nobody talks about, and it is not simple weakness. Stay with me until the end, because that one can change how you move for the next 10 years. Now let me tell you why you have probably never heard this. When you see your doctor, the average visit runs about 12 to 15 minutes. In that short time, they have to check your medicines, look at your latest numbers, and handle whatever brought you in that day. There is simply no room in that window to watch you walk, time your pace, and coach you on it. So the one measurement that quietly predicts your future gets skipped, not because it does not matter, but because the clock runs out. Prevention is the first thing a short visit loses. I want to be straight with you about what this channel is. I am not here to sell you a supplement or scare you into some expensive program. This channel exists to give you the science that a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover. That is the whole mission. And it is why you are here. Because this is not really about walking faster for its own sake. This is about rising from a low car seat without a hand to pull you up. It is about crossing the street before the light changes, carrying your own groceries up the steps, and staying in your own home on your own terms. So before we go any further, tell me in the comments, how old are you, and what city are you watching from? I read these, and they tell me who I am really talking to tonight. Here is the one idea that everything else tonight is built on. Walking is not a single skill. It is a team of systems firing together in the right order. Your muscles, your joints, your balance, and your heart, all cooperating in a fraction of a second on every single step. When any one member of that team gets weak or stiff or hesitant, your body does the same thing a careful person always does. It slows down to stay safe, and that slowing is the warning light. Think of your walking speed like the water pressure in your home. When the pressure is strong, every tap works, the shower runs, the garden gets watered, and you never think about it. But when the pressure drops, you notice it everywhere at once. The weak trickle is not the real problem. It is the signal that something upstream is failing, a clogged pipe, a tired pump, a half-closed valve. Your pace is that pressure gauge, and tonight we are going to find the clogs and fix the pump. Please do not skip this section. It is the key to everything that follows. If this is already making sense to you, tap the like button so more seniors can find it. That one tap is how this reaches the person who needs it most. Let us start the countdown at number 5. Stiff ankles. Not your knees, not your hips, but your ankles, the hinge nobody thinks about until it locks up. Here is why this matters so much. Every normal step ends with a push. Your back foot rolls forward, and your calf pushes you into the next stride. That push is where most of your forward speed actually comes from. When the ankle stiffens, that push disappears, and you begin shuffling instead of striding. Picture a rusty door hinge. The door still opens, but only part way, and it drags the whole way. A stiff ankle drags your entire gait in exactly the same manner. Clinical gait research consistently shows that ankle range of motion is one of the first things to shrink with age. And it shrinks silently, long before you ever notice yourself slowing down. So here is exactly what to do. Stand facing a wall, about 1 arm's length away, and place both hands flat against it. Step 1 foot back about 2 feet. Keep that back heel pressed firmly onto the floor, and gently lean your hips toward the wall until you feel a stretch in the lower calf. Hold that stretch for 30 seconds, keep breathing, and repeat it 3 times on each leg. The mistake people make is bouncing, so do not bounce. Just hold it steady. Do this once in the morning and once at night every day for 2 weeks, and you will feel your stride begin to open up. If standing at the wall feels unsteady, do this sitting in a sturdy chair instead. Loop a towel around the ball of your foot, hold both ends, and gently pull your toes toward you until you feel that same stretch. And here is your stop rule. A mild pulling feeling is good, but sharp pain inside the joint means stop, not push through. Pair this stretch with a warm shower, because warm tissue stretches farther and more safely than cold tissue does. Do your ankle work right after the water while everything is loose and warm. That one small pairing doubles what you get from the very same effort. But here is the thing. A loose ankle gives you the push, yet it cannot give you the length of your step. For that, we have to travel up the body to a muscle that has quietly shortened from all those years of sitting. That is number 4, and it is stealing inches from every single stride you take. Number 4, tight hip flexors and the lost hip extension that comes with them. These are the muscles at the front of your hips, the ones that a lifetime in chairs slowly winds up tight. Here is the mechanism. To take a long, confident step, your leg has to swing back behind you, not just forward in front of you. That backward reach is called hip extension, and it is where stride length is actually born. When the hip flexors are tight, they act like a short bungee cord tied between your thigh and your hip. Every time you try to step out, that cord snaps your leg back early, and your stride gets clipped shorter than you even realize. Movement researchers have shown for years that hip extension is one of the biggest differences between a fast walker and a slow one. It is not about trying harder. It is about the hip being free to open. Here is the fix, and it is gentle. Kneel down on one knee on a folded towel or a cushion, with the other foot flat on the floor in front of you, as if you were proposing. Keep your back tall and gently squeeze the buttock of the kneeling leg, then shift your weight forward just an inch or two until you feel a stretch across the front of the hip. Hold it for 30 seconds and do it twice on each side, once a day. The error people make is arching the lower back to fake the stretch, so keep your belt line level and let the hip do the real work. If kneeling is hard on your knees, you do not need the floor at all. Stand in a split stance beside a kitchen counter, hold on with one hand, tuck your hips under, and lean gently forward into the same stretch. Your stop rule here. You should feel this in the front of the hip, never a pinch in the lower back, and if the back complains, back off at once. Pair this hip stretch with the ankle work you just learned and do them back to back. The ankle gives you the push, and the hip gives you the length, and together, they restore your full stride. One without the other only ever fixes half of the problem. Now your body can physically take a longer, stronger step. But there is a catch. Being able to step out and actually daring to step out are two very different things. Number 3 is not in your muscles at all. It is in a quiet break. Your own nervous system has been pressing without your permission. Number 3 is the hidden break. A slow, cautious step rate driven by the fear of falling. In plain terms, your body has quietly turned down your own walking speed to feel safer, and you never once agreed to it. Here is how it happens. After a stumble, or even just after hearing that a friend fell, the brain gets protective. It shortens your steps, widens your stance, and slows your rhythm all to keep you closer to the ground. Think of it like a car being driven with the parking brake half on. The engine is fine, the wheels are fine, but everything drags because a brake you cannot see is holding you back. That fear brake feels like caution, but it actually makes you less steady, not more. Rehabilitation research consistently shows that fear of falling predicts future falls, sometimes even better than a person's actual physical weakness does. The fear itself becomes the risk. So we retrain the rhythm on purpose, and we do it safely. Find a clear hallway with a wall or a counter within easy reach. Pick a favorite song with a steady beat, something around 100 to 120 beats a minute, and walk in time with it for 2 to 3 minutes. Count your steps out loud if it helps. You are aiming to take slightly quicker, lighter steps, not longer ones. Do this once a day, and each week let the pace nudge up just a little. The mistake is staring down at your feet, so keep your eyes up and out, because looking down is what actually steals your balance. If open walking feels risky, do this holding a shopping cart, a walker, or with one hand trailing along a kitchen counter. The support lets your nervous system release the brake without any real danger. Your stop rule here. Dizziness or lightheadedness means sit down right away. And if that keeps happening, mention it to your doctor before your next session. Pair this rhythm walk with good lighting and clear floors. Pick up the loose rug, the phone cord, and the shoes left by the door. When your eyes and your home both tell your brain that you are safe, the fear brake lets go far faster. Confidence is built on proof, and a safe path is proof. Now, keep that number one item in the back of your mind, because everything so far has been quietly preparing your body to use it. You can have loose ankles, open hips, and a brave rhythm, and still run out of gas after a single block. That is number 2, and it is about the engine that actually keeps you moving. Number 2, your aerobic engine, the heart and lung capacity that decides how far you can go before you tire. This is the fuel line for everything else. Here is the mechanism in plain words. Walking is powered by oxygen. Your heart pumps it, your blood carries it, and your muscles burn it to keep you moving. When that system gets out of shape, your muscles run low on oxygen within a few minutes, and your body slows you down to save fuel. Picture a phone with a tired old battery. The phone works perfectly, but it drains so fast that you are always hunting for a charger. A weak aerobic engine drains you the same way, halfway down the block. Large clinical trials have consistently shown that even gentle, regular aerobic activity improves walking endurance in adults well into their 80s. The engine responds at any age. It is never too late to rebuild it. Here is the protocol, and it is friendlier than you expect. 3 days a week, go for a walk at a pace that leaves you slightly breathless, but still able to talk. Aim for 20 minutes, and if that is too much at first, do 3 separate walks of 7 minutes each across the day, because they add up to exactly the same thing. Every week, add 2 or 3 minutes to your longest walk. The error people make is going too hard and then quitting, so you should be able to speak a full sentence, but not sing one. Steady and repeatable beats fast and painful every single time. If walking outside is hard on your joints, do this seated by marching your arms and legs in a chair, or use a stationary bike if you have one. You still build the engine without any of the pounding. Your stop rule here. Chest pressure, unusual shortness of breath, or pain down the arm means stop and call your doctor, not push through. Pair every aerobic walk with a tall glass of water before and after, because even mild dehydration makes your heart work harder and tires you out faster. Hydrate the engine, and it runs cooler and longer. It is the cheapest upgrade you will ever make. So now you have the push, the length, the courage, and the fuel. But there is still one thing missing, and it is the single biggest reason a capable body still walks slowly. It is not strength, and it is not endurance. It is the one quality that fades faster than either. And it is finally time to reveal number one. And here it is. Number one, the reason almost nobody talks about muscle power. Not muscle strength, but muscle power. And the difference between those two words is the whole secret. Let me explain, because this is the key that unlocks everything else. Strength is how much your muscle can lift. Power is how fast your muscle can produce that force. They sound like the same thing, but they age very differently. After 60, your raw strength fades slowly, but your power, your speed of force, fades almost twice as fast. And walking is a power activity. Every step is a quick, sharp push off the ground over and over again, and if that push gets slow, so do you. Think of it like the difference between a strong old truck and a quick little car. The old truck can haul a heavy load, but it takes forever to get up to speed at the on-ramp. Your legs can be strong and still be slow, and that gap is exactly what quietly steals your walking speed. And with it, your independence. Study after study on aging muscle points to the very same conclusion. Power, that speed of force, is one of the strongest predictors we have of whether an older adult can climb stairs, cross a street in time, and keep living independently. It matters more than strength alone. And it is the one thing that almost no ordinary exercise routine ever trains. So here is exactly how you rebuild it. And it is simpler than it sounds. The tool is the sit to stand, but done with a twist that most people miss completely. Sit in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, arms crossed over your chest if you safely can. Now here is the whole secret. Stand up fast. Push up as quickly as you safely can, then lower yourself back down slowly, counting 3 full seconds on the way down. That fast up and slow down is what trains power specifically. Do 8 to 10 of these, rest a full minute, and then repeat for 3 rounds. Do this just 3 days a week, and never on back-to-back days, because the muscle actually rebuilds on the rest day. The single biggest error is standing up slowly, because slow does not train power. So the speed of that push is the entire point. Give this 6 weeks, and rising from a chair, a car, or a toilet will feel like a completely different body. Now let us make this safe for every single level. If standing up from a low chair is too hard, start with a higher seat, or place a firm cushion down to shorten the distance you have to travel. Always set the chair against a wall so that it cannot slide out from under you, and keep a counter or a rail within arm's reach in case you wobble. If crossing your arms feels risky, let your hands hover just above your thighs, ready to help you at any moment. And here is your stop rule, the most important one of the whole night. A hard, working feeling in the thigh muscles is exactly right, but sharp pain in the knee or the hip means stop, lower the intensity, and if it continues, check with your doctor before your next session. Pair this power work with protein, because the muscle needs the raw material to rebuild itself. Aim for a palm-sized portion of protein, whether that is eggs, fish, chicken, beans, or Greek yogurt, within about an hour of finishing. The exercise sends the signal, and the protein answers the call. One without the other leaves half of your results sitting on the table. And this is the payoff I promised you at the very beginning. When people are told they walk slowly simply because they are getting old, that is the myth. Because getting old is not the real cause. Losing power is the cause, and losing power is trainable. Balance is not luck. Mobility is not genetics. Independence is trained, one fast stand at a time. Let me show you how all of this comes together with a case typical of the ones documented in the rehabilitation literature. Consider a 74-year-old woman who had slowly stopped doing the things she loved. She had given up her weekly trip to the market because she could no longer keep up, and she had started avoiding the stairs down to her garden. She was not sick. She was simply slowing down, and everyone around her called it normal aging. Her program was almost exactly what you heard tonight. She did the wall calf stretch and the kneeling hip stretch every day to open up her stride. She added the rhythm walks 3 times a week to rebuild both her confidence and her engine. And 3 days a week, she practiced the fast sit to stand, standing up quickly and lowering slowly, 3 rounds of 8. She paired every session with protein and a glass of water. Nothing exotic and nothing expensive. Within 8 weeks, the change was plain to everyone around her. She was walking noticeably faster, rising from her chair without pushing off the armrests, and taking her garden stairs again without a second thought. She went back to the market on her own 2 feet. Nothing about her had grown younger, but her power, her stride, and her confidence had all come back. So let us turn all of this into a simple plan you can start on right away. You do not need all 5 at once. You just need to begin. Tonight. Step 1. Tonight. Do 3 30-second calf stretches on each leg at the wall before bed. This opens the ankle that gives you your push. Step 2. Tonight. Sit down and stand up from a sturdy chair 5 times, standing up fast and lowering down slow. This is your first taste of training power, and it takes barely 2 minutes. Step 3. This week. Put 3 rhythm walks of 10 minutes each on your calendar, eyes up on clear floors. Treat them like appointments you are not allowed to cancel. Step 4. This week. Add the kneeling or standing hip stretch once a day, 30 seconds on each side. This is what gives your stride its length back. Step 5. This week. Begin the real power drill, 3 rounds of 8 fast stands, 3 days apart, and eat a palm-sized portion of protein within the hour. This one is the crown, so give it the most respect of all. Before we finish, think of someone in your life who has started to slow down. A parent, a partner, or an old friend you quietly worry about. This is exactly the kind of thing that nobody ever sits them down to explain. Send this to them, because it might just be the reason they hold on to their independence a few years longer. And tell me in the comments which of these 5 you are starting tonight. The ankle, the hip, the rhythm, the engine, or the power. Your answers decide exactly what I cover next. If this is the kind of straight, honest health science you have been looking for, subscribe to this channel, because it exists to give you the answers a 12-minute appointment never has time for. This video is education, not a diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history, so bring this list to your next appointment. I'm Warren Hayes. Don't forget to subscribe and live longer.